Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video to quickly give you an overview of the projects that you'll be producing on this class, and more importantly to understand how they fit together because you're reading uh, the assignment prompt for project number one and uh, probably trying to ask yourself, what is a listicle? Why are we doing that? So I'm in the syllabus and it lists the four projects that you'll be doing. The first one's a listicle. The second one's an annotated bibliography. The third one is a review of literature. And the fourth one is a proposal letter. These all build upon one another. So the listicle, let's quickly talk first about what the genre. So one of the main things that you're going to be learning about this course is how genre works, in the sense that most writing is produced in a particular genre and that you need to follow those conventions, and those conventions develop for a reason. So um, the Huffington Post has a page. I'll provide all these links as a follow-up to this video. Has a page that lists a bunch of listicles, and then I've given you some examples in the course. And in short, what a listicle, it's a mashup of a word, list, and article, and it's just saying, hey, we're going to write this article and we're going to produce it in the form of a list. If you read the web, I'm pretty confident you've probably read a listicle before. So the Huffington Post ones, so this one we've got struggle 20 things. It's pretty short, list things. Five catchphrases you probably didn't know where. So listicle topics can be from very serious to very um, uh, lighthearted. Um, now, you'll notice the first two Huffington Post ones did not have pictures, and the list items were pretty short. Now, this particular one, it's also Huffington Post. Now, notice the picture icons is showing that there's a broken link for pulling the pictures. So, what I want to say is this particular listicle had an image associated with every list element, and for some reason just the images aren't coming through. But for our project, our class, the expectation is you do something that looks more like this, where you'll have an introduction, you'll have a title, and it should be a fun title, it should be an engaging title. You'll have an introduction, and then you'll have your list, and each list should have an image. It should have some kind of subheader like this, the ones that are in black and bold, and then it should have probably at least 1 to 3 sentences uh, of information that kind of expands upon your header here. So that's the listicle. Now, you're going to pick the topic for the listicle. You're going to pick a topic based on something that you feel comfortable about, that you feel knowledgeable, that you have ethos and authority to write about. So you don't have to do research. What you'll be doing is taking information you already know and producing it in this genre. So instead of writing something that looks like a traditional essay, you're producing it in listicle form. Okay, so once you do that, that's project number one. We're then going to move on to annotated bibliographies. Now, annotated bibliographies are actually an academic genre, and they're also kind of a process genre. There's something that helps someone who's doing research on a topic to gather information about scholarship that's already been written. So this particular page we're looking at here is a list of annotated bibliographies about writing studies. That's what I do, that's what I teach. And what an annotated bibliography looks like, it kind of looks a lot like a listicle in the sense that it has a title, it has an introduction, it introduces the topic, and then it produces, it gives you annotated bibliography entries. Now, the interesting thing is this particular um, example doesn't give you the traditional annotated bibliography that's literally a bibliographic citation. But again, you'll get examples as you get into project two. But what you have is a list of scholarly articles with a paragraph. So this combo information here, and there we go, it's going to highlight that. That is the bibliographic information. You'll be producing it in a bibliographic citation, so APA, MLA, something like that. But then you also have a paragraph of information, and the paragraph of information is supposed to be a summary of the source, saying, hey, this is what it's about. Also, you all will be responsible for doing an evaluation. So how and why is what you picked authoritative and credible? Um, so again, and here's another example. There we go. See, so there's bibliographic information, author's name, the title of it, and the journal. It's just not in a particular format. They have a format for this. And then there's that paragraph. And then there's the next entry, paragraph. So yeah, again, it looks like a list. It'll literally be bibliographic entry, annotation, which is paragraph. Now, in terms of the content, again, you're going to start with that topic that you picked for the listicle, and you're going to basically research how that topic has been studied in academia. Um, and you're going to be specifically prompted to go look at how that topic has been studied in a variety of different disciplines. So, for example, uh, say say you decide you're going to write something about pregnancy or childbirth, something like that. Um, you might, your listicle might be something along the ways, 5 things to help your pregnancy go smoothly. See, there's that 5, the numbers, and then you have this thing because you've been pregnant 3 times and you know this stuff. Okay, but then now for the annotated bibliography, what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to go like, okay, so you know this based on your own experience. Now I want you to go understand how the academy, how higher education, how scholars study this topic, what questions they ask of it, what type of research they do in relation to it. And kind of the broad fields is arts and humanities. And so, for example, you might find an article about how pregnant women are depicted in films or in literature. Um, social sciences, you might read an article about how pregnant women, how um, people interact with pregnant women's bellies in when they're out and about in public spaces. Um, and then in the sciences, you might read something obviously in a health journal about a particular new technology that helps with birthing, or a new medication that helps with, say, some women get diabetes when they're pregnant. So maybe there's an article about a medication that helps with that. So the idea is you're going to be studying your topic, and not only you're going to be looking for scholarly publications about it, so studies that have been done on it, but you're going to be looking at it from a bunch of different perspectives to get a sense that it's not just the perspective that you're interested in. The academy studies these things in a variety of different ways, and I want you to explore that. So that will be your annotated bibliography. Then, after your annotated bibliography, so project 3, so if I go back to the syllabus, we did the listicle, we talked about the annotated bibliography. We're now on to the review of literature. Review of literature, again, is generally an academic um, uh, genre, but it's handy if you do long reports, say in business. It's a genre there. Now in academia, the easiest place to find a review of literature, and ones you'll be reading as you do your annotated bibliography, is most journal articles. So right now I have this journal article about 5th grade students' knowledge about writing processes. Most journal articles, the first section of their article, so on some level, I'm talking about a subgenre here. First section of the genre is a review of literature. And what a review of literature does is it shares, so this is the article, I'm scrolling down, here's the abstract, there the article starts with students. A review of literature shares the scholarship that has already been published on this particular topic. So from project 2, annotated bibliography, you'll be a little bit more broad. You'll be looking at different perspectives in academia and how your subject is studied. For project 3, you'll actually ask a question about it that you want to learn more, and it'll focus on probably a particular field. So you might just follow a scientific or a social science route, or an arts and humanities route, and then you'll do some more research, secondary research, and you'll put together a review of literature. Now, a review of literature, as you can see here, is essay style. It's full paragraphs, but what it does is it basically weaves together a story of what scholarship has said about this particular focused topic or focused research question. And so you will weave together a short essay that basically answers or starts to answer a research question about your topic and how it's specifically being addressed in scholarship. And here's another example. So that was a social science. It was an education-based one. Here's one that's science. Notice it's normal for science articles to have multiple authors. But again, if we scroll down, there's the abstract, introduction. All these little blue numbers here, those are in-text citations. And so basically this introduction is saying, so this topic, here's what other people have said about it before. And it's using a footnote system. So it's just doing the numbers. And if you go to the bottom of the paper, it'll explain what resources. And if we go back to this other article, it's using this looks like it's APA. So it's using an author date system. But in both cases, they're citing multiple sources. They're weaving together a story that says this particular topic, how it's being talked about, what questions are being asked and answered, what information is being found. That will be your third project. Your fourth project, it will come very fast and furious. You won't have much time to do it. Will be a proposal letter. And basically, you'll be writing a letter to a fictional editor of a publication that you want to produce a listicle about your specific topic, your revised topic based on the research you've done. So you basically you start this class with your own expertise, and then I'm going to send you out and you're going to learn even more on your topic, and you're going to learn how your topic is talked about and studied in the academy, and you're going to focus on something and learn even more. And then at the end, you're not going to produce a listicle. You're going to write a proposal um, saying what listicle you want to produce, where you want to publish it, who's the intended audience, the specific audience, why it's useful to them. And that will be your final project for the class. So hopefully this video gives you a sense of everything that you'll be producing and how it all weaves together. And I look forward to reading all of these and learning a lot about you and your interests.